Greetings, child of God. Thank you for joining me one more week. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your engagement. I love reading your comments. Please also do let me know where you're watching this from. And if you can, like and share these videos to your friends and family, that it may be a blessing to a lot more people. Last week we spoke about the solution that Jesus has for a world that is under the power of evil, for a world that is under the influence of such evil. And Jesus' solution was not that He is the only light of the world, but He made you and I to be the light of this world. Now, I wanted to continue with that flow of thought to help us understand who Jesus created us to be as children of light and the authority that He has given us. One of the first things that Jesus gives His children, the children of light, is that He gives them the power and the authority by which they walk as sons and daughters of God. John 1 verse 12 says, "But as many as received Him, to them He gave the power to become sons of God, even to them that believe on His name." As children of God, we have to understand that God gave us an authority and that this authority is already there. He did not leave us defenseless. He did not leave us as orphans. He gave us His authority and He gave us the Spirit of God to allow us to freely walk in His authority. So, child of God, when we face an issue, even though that issue is a problem for us, to the Lord it is an opportunity and not a problem. To the Lord it is an opportunity for us to walk in His authority and bring solutions to the issues that we face by the working of His Spirit within us. The way we begin to shine bright for Jesus is by bringing real world solutions to the problems around us. That is how we bring Him glory. With that being said, I want us to understand this in the perspective of healing. Because when you study healings in the gospel, majority of incidences of healings in the gospel are not healing, but they're deliverances. And one of the first things that Jesus commanded His disciples to do was to heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, and to cast out demons. Now this is interesting because when you study Luke 10, Jesus basically commanded His disciples saying that they have to heal the sick, and then He gives them the authority over all the power of the devil. And then in Luke 11, the disciples go to Jesus and ask Him to teach them how to pray. So, child of God, isn't that interesting? Jesus first gave His disciples the authority to heal the sick, to cast out demons, even before He taught them how to pray. So you might ask, how on earth did the disciples heal the sick or cast out demons or bring deliverance if Jesus never even taught them how to pray? Well, the answer for that is simple, because the disciples imitated the one that they followed. They imitated the one that was sent for them. All they had to do was imitate Jesus. Because Jesus never prayed for the sick, He healed the sick. Jesus never prayed for deliverance, He cast out demons. Jesus functioned in His authority, and the disciples functioned in the authority that Jesus gave them. God never instructed His disciples to pray for the sick. Prayer is not given for the sick. Healing is given for the sick. Prayer is asking God to do it. Healing the sick is walking in an understanding that God has given me the authority and the understanding to walk on earth as He walked on earth. And that is the way children of light are supposed to walk on earth. And child of God, there is a big difference between a prayer of faith and a prayer for healing that is asking God to do it for you. Because a prayer of faith is from an understanding of what Jesus has done, of what Jesus has made available, and it is from the place of knowing who Jesus has made you and I. That we are light, and when we shine bright in this world, we bring the solutions of heaven on earth. A prayer of faith is a commandment that is spoken that says, be healed. It is a commandment to a storm around you that seems to be out of control, but it is a command that declares, peace, be still, and that storm has no other option but to respond to you. And this is the thing, people of God. Whenever you go to Jesus, and this is something we must understand, people of God. Whenever you go to Jesus, whenever you ask Him to do something for you, the first thing that He will ask you is, where is your faith? Whenever someone came to Jesus asking them to perform something, to do a miracle, He would tell them, let it be done according to your faith. And the amount of times the disciples were chastised for their lack of faith, because they were given the power and the authority while Jesus was walking on earth to do the works that He did. In fact, Jesus expected them to do greater works. There is a moment where the disciples woke up Jesus on a boat and He chastises them saying, "O you of little faith." There is another moment where someone brings their child to Jesus because their disciples were not able to heal the child. Jesus' response to that individual is, "You faithless and twisted generation." And when the disciples then take Jesus privately and go on to ask Him why they could not cast out the demon of that child, in Matthew 17 verse 20, Jesus tells them it is because of their little faith. So imagine, child of God, with that little faith itself, the disciples were able to heal the sick, cast out demons, do many wonders, to the point that they said the spirits are subjected to us. It took little faith for the disciples to do the same works that Jesus did. And Jesus goes on to say to His disciples, to His children of light, in Matthew 17 verse 20, "For I truly say to you, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you." Now, child of God, I believe Jesus said that literally, because it is according to your faith that you believe. Now imagine, Jesus says, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed, you can look to a mountain and command it to be moved, and it will move. Now, this is the problem of our generation, because the religious part of us, or many people would prefer to say, nothing is impossible for God. Yet the same God is telling us, nothing shall be impossible for you. So, child of God, I want to declare that over you. Nothing shall be impossible for you, because that is what Jesus said about you and I. Child of God, can you see what this God sees in you? What this God sees in what He can do through you? Can you see what this God can do with His Spirit at work within you? Can you see what faith like a mustard seed could bring so much real world solutions to this world that is in darkness? Can you see that you are the light of this world? So I want to tell you, child of God, stop asking God to remove your mountains. Speak to the mountain and it shall be removed. Stop asking God to heal your sickness. Speak to your body, and your body will be healed. Speak to your bones, speak to your body. Spend time praying in the Spirit. Spend time in the presence of Jesus. Build up your most holy faith, praying in the Spirit, and speak to whatever that ails you. Speak to whatever that opposes you. Your body will respond. The sicknesses that you are struggling with will respond. Demons will leave. Darkness will be cleared. The works of the enemy will be destroyed. The power of the enemy over you will break, but just speak it. Child of God, function as who Jesus created you to be, because you are light, because you have authority, because you have faith, because it is by faith with which you receive Jesus in your life, and by that same faith, nothing is impossible for you. Be free to be who God created you to be. And this God will do wonders through you, because you are the light of this world. Child of God, shine brightly for Jesus, and may this world see your brightness. God bless you, and shalom to you.